But the real trick with guitars is actually making sure that they are in tune as much as possible. So that's one of the big things. So that's why I have my little telephone tuner in case I need it. Anyway, without further ado, I won't even announce what the first song is. You'll probably know it. Most of this is all Italian Night. Thank you. Microphone on. Thank you very much. That was, of course, the famous come back to Sorrento, which was written in the very late 1800s, made famous, of course, by Elvis Presley. It was called Surrender, under a new title. And I did a medley with a beautiful song written by Michel Legrand called What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life? This next piece I'm going to do is actually an original. I write music besides just playing, other pieces. And I released a CD a few years ago on my one-on-one production music label called Italian Holiday, and it's all original, all in the vein of like the Mediterranean, old-fashioned Italian type works. And this piece is called Amore. And I start this alone as a rubato piece. Chord melody is sort of my guitar style. And then I'll point up to the cameraman up at the top, and he'll play my backing track so I can play against it. So you'll have a fuller sound than just one single instrument. Thank you. This first guitar that I played behind me with the F-holes was actually my father's guitar. He was a brilliant guitarist, passed away about 20 years ago. But of course, I inherited his passion for music and some of his ability. He was just an amazing rhythm player. And this guitar was actually built in 1941, and it's just one of the most beautiful Gibsons around. And actually, in the audience tonight, I have a very good close friend, Alan Rigg. And Alan actually works on all my guitars. And just recently, he got a batch of my guitars to do some setting up on. on. So I thank Alan very much. Alan's in the back of the theater here. If anybody needs any great work done on guitars, look up Alan Rigg, R-I-G-G. Just a fantastic guy. Great player, and absolute wonderful guitar repairman. So this is O Sole Mio. Thank you very, very much. The reason why I love Italian music so much is, actually my name is not really Art Phillips. It is on my birth certificate, but I should have been born with the real family name, which is diFilippo. When my grandpa, Antonio diFilippo, immigrated to America, I guess you knew I had an American accent. You probably heard that. I've been trying to sell it, but nobody wants to buy it. But when Antonio immigrated to Ellis Island, New York City in America in 1901, he was 7 years old. He was with his brother. His mom and dad had passed away, sadly. And they changed his name at immigration to Phillips. So my father was born Art Phillips, that was his name, in America. And so I inherited the name Phillips, but very passionate about the Italian background. Matter of fact, I've studied Italian for a few years. Not so bad. Non c'è male. And tonight, by the way, you guys and girls are going to watch a great film called The Perfect Dinner. And in Italiano, you would say, La cena è perfetto. And yeah, you guys will enjoy that movie. It's quite funny. So anyway, so that's why I'm so passionate about Italian music. And I don't know, it was about 12 years ago, I decided to do a tribute album to my father, because I learned guitar from him at the age of 5 or 7 it was actually. And by the time I was 11, I knew that I actually wanted to do this for a living. And this for a living, of course, is as a guitarist, but I make my living as a composer mostly. And I play, of course, every day in the studio, but I don't play live a whole lot anymore. I used to, but I don't, sort of miss it. So the opportunity to do this evening is actually great. This is a tribute CD that I did for my dad called Chitarra Acustica d'Italia, which means acoustic guitars of Italy. And it's a lot of these songs I'm playing tonight on this album, and on the front cover, I mean, nobody buys CDs anymore, I don't think, but I still release them for the fun of it because there's a story you can read on the inside, you know, it's great. Anyway, on the front cover is a photo of my dad playing that guitar and myself playing, not one of these guitars, but another one, in my grandma's backyard in Erie, Pennsylvania. So very sentimental about this, but this next piece is actually from that. It's not an original, it's called Anema Acorde, and actually I might play this on the other guitar, I'm thinking. No, I'll play it on this. I have to think twice about this. But the funny thing about having 3 guitars on stage is the safety factor in case you break a string. But it's also, they all sound different. And they're mic'd different. And of course, they feel different. So when I change guitars, I probably mess up a little bit. Anyway, Anema Acorde. Okay, next piece is called C'è la luna mezzo mare. And actually, I didn't realize this until I looked it up. I recorded it on another album of mine. I'm showing you all these albums. And by the way, anybody who's interested, there are these CDs for sale out the front. My wife, Sue, will be sitting near the wine bar after. I think we're selling them for $10 each. I hope that's reasonable. 3 for $25 and 100 for $50. I don't know. But on this album, it's called Art Phillips, Arturo diFilippo. Via Porta Nova is the name of the album. And it's the street name where my grandpa, Antonio diFilippo, grew up in Montenero Valcocchiata in Molise in Italy. And this piece is called C'è la luna mezzo mare. Believe it or not, it was written in I cannot believe this. It's true, 1875. It means there's a moon over the sea, in the middle of the sea. C'è la luna mezzo mare. It's a song from Sicily, actually 1835. And I don't know if anybody realizes that Italian music, a lot of it's in 6/8 time called the tarantella. And the tarantella means the spider, the tarantula. And of all things, because I don't like spiders. I'm looking to see what guitar I'm using. I'm using my dad's guitar now. I don't like spiders. Anyway, I love the song. C'è la luna mezzo mare. It's just one of those fun, happy. I mean, Italian music's either really passionate or just so fun. It's crazy. Lou Monte actually made a big hit of this in America. I think it was also big here in Australia in the 40s. My dad used to play this song, and then because my dad had a group called the Strolling Venetians, where they would just looking at the time to make sure. Oh gosh, and my dad used to play at Italian restaurants and stroll around with himself on guitar, and a mandolin player or it used to be an accordion player, or sometimes little old me when they were sick and I had to go out and help my dad play and get all dressed up in this white monkey outfit, we used to call it, and stroll around going from table to table. And it used to be so embarrassing. I was like 13 and they allowed me to do it. They wouldn't allow that now with alcoholic rules. But, and there's all these romantic couples kissing and eating beautiful steak and all this stuff, and we're sitting there playing this stuff. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to play an original, and this is, it's a song that I wrote called Angel Eyes, and I wrote it for my niece, who sadly has now passed away. She had MS for a long time in her life, and I wrote this piece called Angel Eyes. Let me just get my capo happening and detune a string, and away we go. There's a piece called Smile, and I'll play this on my, I have to look and see, I can't remember what I planned, on this guy, Smile, which was written by Charlie Chaplin, a movie called Modern Times. He was a great composer. It's not Italian, but it works perfectly with the piece that I go into called Come Prima. Thank you very much for coming and your attention and passion for music. And as I said earlier, I just think it's great that this theater, Avoca Beach Picture Theater, Beth and Norm are doing what they do. It's just a real honor to be here. So thank you all very much, and I hope you enjoy the film this evening. Thank you.